Hey friends, thank you so much for clicking on this video. Welcome back to Budgeting Over 40. I'm Melissa. July is over, you guys. So we're going to do a spending breakdown of how we did with our income and our expenses for the seventh month. So if you're interested in seeing how all that went, please stay tuned. All right, friends. So as you can tell from what's on your screen, we did spend a total of $9,568.69. And before I break it all the way down into each category and category group, I do want to discuss the income that was brought in July before we break down the spending. So what I'm going to do first is jump over to the income versus expense tab and discuss the income and then come right back and break it all down for you guys. So let's take a look. So here on the income versus expense tab, in the income section on the top, I do have different sources of income that came in the month of July. So first was cashback and rewards in the amount of $109.09. This is from swiping my credit cards. So next up is hubby. He transferred over $4,000 into our joint account for the month of July, but $1,000 of this amount was earmarked for June. He was just a little bit late transferring it in because June he didn't, I guess he ran out of time. And by the time he transferred the money over, it was already July 1st. So it is shown in here as income for July. Monthly interest that was earned on all of our accounts, $4.53. My paychecks came in at $7,710.50. Now, wait a minute, this is not normal. And let me explain. So, August, which is the month that we're in right now, is supposed to be my magic month, which I am receiving three paychecks in this month. But my bank usually deposit my check a day or two early. So my check came in on the 31st for what is considered the first paycheck of August. So you can see here, I got paid on the 2nd for the first paycheck of July. I got paid on the 17th for the second paycheck. And here it goes again, the 31st. This is the paycheck, the first paycheck in my magic month of August. So technically it's looking like July is my magic month, but August, it's going to roll into August anyway. So that is $7,710.50. Side hustles, I did get $5.84. And I need to tell you guys, thank you so much for everyone who has clicked on the link that is in the description for my Ko-Fi page. I do share a few different spreadsheets on there. And I do appreciate when you guys go in and make a small donation. This goes to a good use. $5.84. Thank you guys so much. And then SSI benefits came in $1,375.50. So the total income that was inflowed into the month of July into the spending plan is $13,205.46. This is decent because at the end of it, I'm going to show you how everything played out. All right, so let's break it down. How did we spend this much money? All right, let's jump over to the spending breakdown. All right, so as you could see here on the spending breakdown, this graph is showing me from the largest category group that we spent in all the way down to the smallest group. So the first group here is home expenses, and it's showing us that we spent 31% of the total spent. $2,997.24 was the total that was spent on home expenses. Now, home expenses mainly mean it is the fixed bills that I pay for the home. So the rent for $2,500, my cell phone or cell phone bill for $274.24, our electric bill for $134, and the internet and home phone came in at $89. So those are just the bills that we pay in the house. They come around every month. They usually don't vary much. Our cell phone bill just went up, but everything else usually stays put. Our next big category here is debt. It's showing 27% of the total amount spent for the month. There's a total of $2,545.62, but let's take a pause because this is not taking into consideration the credit cards. As you can see, there is no credit cards listed here, but I did pay credit cards in the month of July. So I'm going to put something on your screen because I paid out $742 total to credit cards. So my Apple card got $25, my Mattress Firm card got 67, and then Discover got $650. So here, personal loan, the biggest at $1,151.04. Auto loan came in second at $939.23. Affirm, $415.35, and then the student loan at $40. Now, these are just the standard minimum payments because, like I mentioned in my videos, especially in the debt update, these are the minimum payments because I am focusing on paying off my Discover card. So it's a little bit more than $2,500. I will put the number on the screen for the total amount that we paid in debt. So the next category that's up is food at 21%. We spent a total of $1,982.26. The biggest category here, you guys, is groceries and consumables, $1,636.26. Now, I know this is way over budget for what I really wanted to do for the month of July, but the price of groceries are up again, and my kids eat a lot. So we do primarily eat at home. So even though the next one that I'm going to talk about is dining out, where we spend $346, we do eat the majority of our meals at home. I'm working on getting this amount down, but realistically, we need the food. So I'm working on it and I'm going to figure it out. So a total of $1,982.26 was spent. Our next category is my babies. It's only 10% of the total spent. We spent a total of $985.48. Child support is for 526, braces for 225. We did have to pay for the babysitter the earlier part of July. So once the kids got out of school, this was before camp started, we did have to use the babysitter because both hubby and I had to wait, and they had a week between when school got out to when camp started. So we paid $160, and I think at the end of August we may have to use her again. I'm trying to, schedule my work days a little bit different or take some time off so I could save the money and not having to put it towards the babysitter. I could use the money to do back to school shopping, but I think something's going to come up in the end of August. We'll see. Haircuts came in at $31.20, and I have something to tell you guys about this one. And I'm already laughing because I think it's the cutest thing. So $31.20, I usually only pay $30 to get my son's haircut, but you guys, $1.20 is the fee to pay using my credit card. I have stopped using my credit card a long time ago because I don't think it's worth it to pay $1.20 in credit card fees just to charge a $30 haircut. So this is what happened. I'm never one to carry cash. I rarely have cash, but I try to keep enough cash just in case I need to go get my son's haircut and just in case I need to give the kids any kind of little pocket money to take to camp. So, what I do find out is that they do a beach day at camp every Thursday, and they have to bring a little bit of cash to get ice cream from the ice cream truck. So, I gave my kids a $20 bill that I had, and it was for both of them. So, they went to camp and they had their ice cream at the beach from the ice cream truck, and I had put it in a small Ziploc bag. So, when they got home from camp, I asked them if there was any change because they got $20. And technically, I think $10 should have been enough, but I didn't have any other smaller change. And my son said to me, Dad has the money. Anyway, I was unpacking their bags for the end of the day just to make sure everything was out and to clean what needed to be cleaned. And I found the plastic baggie in my daughter's backpack, and I could see that there was two $5 bills in the plastic bag. So okay, I took it out, the plastic bag, I threw it into my purse, and we were gonna go get my son's haircut. Now, mind you, I had $30 in my purse. That was the amount of cash that I had, and I was like, good. I'm gonna use $5 out of the money. No, I had $25 in my purse, and I was like, good. I'm gonna use $5 out of the $10 that they brought back home to make up for $30 for his haircut, and then I usually tip $5. So I didn't have to go to the bank. So I shot on over to the barbershop and I am taking the cash out to go in just so I didn't have to bring in my wallet and purse into the barbershop. It's really small. So I went into the little plastic baggie and I took out the money. Now, when I pulled out the money, you guys, it wasn't two $5 bills, it was one $5 bill that was ripped in half. So I said to my son, I said, "Who ripped the money?" And he goes, "I don't know." And just something said to me to ask my daughter. Now she's 5. And I said to her, "Baby, who ripped the money? Did you rip the money?" And she looked at me, straight faced, you guys, straight faced. She looked at me and says, "Yes, Mom, my friend didn't have any money for the ice cream truck, so I wanted to give him half of my money. So I gave him a half of my money and I kept a half because it's good to share." You guys, I held my laugh, but I giggled. And she goes, "What, Mommy?" And I said, "Baby, that is not how you share money." And she was like, "Why not?" I said, "No, baby, that's not how you share money. What you're supposed to do is just give it to the ice cream man and he would give you your change." And he goes, "But mommy, he didn't have any money." So, long story short, you guys, I didn't have any cash to pay the barber. And the ATM from my bank was a good 20 minutes away and we had an appointment. So, what I did, I paid him with my credit card and then I tipped him using a $5 out of my wallet. So it was the funniest thing. And I think it was really cute that she decided to share with her friend. But sharing with her friend cost me $1.20. So that's the story. I had to charge it to my card. I won't make that mistake again. I'll make sure there's enough cash in my wallet just so I can, deal with any incidentals that come up. All right, let's move on. Clothes and shoes, I did buy her a pair of sneakers for $28.28. And summer camp activities, this is for their ice cream. So they technically spent $15 instead of spending $10. But it's good. It's good. Our next category is cars. $431 was spent, which is 5%. Car insurance, $261.68, and fuel, $172.32. And I can see that our fuel, I do budget $250 every month, but I am coming in under 250 so far for a few months. So we may need to reconsider this one. Next is personal, $250.25, which is 3% of the total spent. The biggest one is me getting my hair braided for $220. I bought myself something, I don't remember what I bought for $20.99, and $9.26 was spent just pocket money. Let's see what it is. Oh, TJ Maxx. I had bought myself some stuff in TJ Maxx and I returned half of the purchase. So next is family. This is $227.91, which is 2% of the total spent. And this is for around the house. This was spent on Amazon and at Ace Hardware. So I did purchase the pots and pans and the vacuum cleaner. The vacuum cleaner went back for 102.76. And then I bought Scotch tape, which I did take out of the return. The next group is going to be subscriptions, 103.40, which is only 1% of the total spent. Peloton at 44, Sirius XM at $24.98. This one they caught me off guard, but I think for the next 2 months I don't have to pay any money because they did do a credit to the account. Amazon Prime for $16.30, iCloud storage for $9.99, HP Ink for $5.97, and Google Cloud came in at $2.16. Now, the other category groups here are all less than 1%. Health and wellness, I only spent $30, which is $25 for a copay and $5 for prescription. So this is not bad. There's not much going on in the form of prescriptions and copays. And gifts and given, $23.49 was spent. I think this is all tips. So $30 in tips went out. So I did get my hair braided. I tipped the lady $20 and there was a cash tip at a restaurant and then the barber got $5. So that is it. So that's all the categories, you guys. I don't think I have anything else. There was some positive inflows into the groups for $7.96. This is from the business account. like I said, every month I do, or every biweekly pull from my personal account, I transfer in 3,000, no, I wish 3,000, $300 from the business account to cover that expense. Our largest category that we spent in was for the rent for 2,500. Our average daily spending was 308 and 67 cents. And I'm sorry for the plane that you're hearing outside. I hope that it doesn't disrupt the audio too much. Our most frequent group that was spent in was food for 32 transactions. And that is all of the runs to the grocery store and any little bits of dining out that we did. So $9,568.69 was spent. And you guys, the monthly budget for the month of July was $9,335. So we're just slightly over budget for July. I'm not mad at that. So let's go back over to the income versus expense tab, and we're going to talk about our net income. You're going to already figure out that we are in the positive or in the green because we brought in $13,205.46 for income in the month of July, and we only spent the $9,568.69. So we are in the green for $3,636.77. And that is rolling over into the month of August. So this last paycheck that I did receive on the 31st, it is serving as the first paycheck for the month of August, along with some rollover. Because for the last income that hubby sent over, I did assign some money into August because my check is not big enough to take care of everything. Right. Before I go, I do want to show you guys my net worth because we are doing pretty good here. You could see the upslope. There we go. So we only had one red ding in the month of March. We have actually spent more than we brought in, but so far we're doing good. Right now we're at negative $40,046 even, and this is a huge plus, you guys. So if I move it to be January, and just look at January through July of 2025, our net worth changed by a positive $16,941.57. That's 29.7%. So this is good. There's a positive upslope here. And look how close these two bars are getting to each other. So I can't wait to see this blue bar shot past this orange or red bar that's here, just so we can show a positive net worth. So that's what it is, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. And until next time, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye now.